Om Sangachadham Sangbadaddham Sangbo Manangshi Janatam Samana Mantra Samiti Samani Samanang Manasah Chittamesham Samani Vayakuti Samana Hridayaniva Samanamastu Mano Yathava Susahasati. Om, let our spiritual journey be together. Let us speak in harmony. Let our minds apprehend alike. Come and be our prayers. Come and be the end of our meeting. Come and be our resolution. Come and be our deliberations. Alike be our loving feeling. Unified be our hearts. Common be our intentions and aim, so that perfect be our unity. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Good morning. Nice to see you again after 2 years. Today, our topic is the power of relaxation. This is a common problem with all of us, that we are taxed every day under the pressing situation of life. So many things come in life which we try to avoid, but it is impossible, and we make this world so important that we die with its problems. Rather, we die once, but before that we die many times. Our pains, our anguish, our afflictions kills us. It is not the problem is killing. It is we who want to be killed. That's why we are bothered. A problem is really there. It is not that this world is no problem. Every day is some type of problem. Today's problem is one type, tomorrow it is different. Where there was no problem at any point of time in life, come to the point of Buddha, come to the point of Christ, and thousands of years ago, when even civilization was not that developed, and today in the most advanced science and technology and everything around us, still we are very much tensed. Now we are tensed about war. Everywhere we are trying to have duct tape and mask and all these things for protection. Really, situations are crying situations are there, and the scientific development, as it has eased our life, it has also created so much trouble in our life. In ancient time, life was very simple. They used to eat, live very simply, think high, and used to think that there is a greater purpose of life, greater meaning of life. This life is not the end. People had the time to think about those thoughts. But in this jet age, we have no time. From the morning, we rush with a cup of coffee in the car. Even we don't have it at our home, we'll have to go to some McDonald's or some place to have a cup of coffee and have something to bite, and then drive in one hand and go on, and then enter into the office, and then whole day tired, and come back at the end of the day again. Office is tension and stress and strain there, and after whole days so much exhaustion, there is little time left for us to think why we are here, what is our purpose, what am I to lose, what am I to gain, and what is real gain and what is real loss. Really, we have no time. So, in one sense, we are fortunate to live in this current age of so much technological and scientific development, where the distance has been shortened, the whole world has become a global village. Uh, Previously, someone coming from India, it will take months and months together in a ship and with seasickness and everything. Now you just come here only one day, few hours, and you are here. And previously one letter to communicate, it will take 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, even it takes nowadays 15 days to India. But nowadays just you click email, gun, and reply come. You see, you can chit chat. So things have become so easy. But tension is not eased at all. Tension and stress has rather taken a greater position in our mind and in our psyche. So, why? Because, as we have just mentioned, that we are very busy. We don't find time to look at us and look at this world. Sometimes in the silent nights, if you look at the stars, it makes you think. It is not needed, no philosophy is needed, not to go to any theology class to understand God, divine, and nothing is needed. Just looking at the stars and to think, what is this? And we are bothered with our problems. Who am I? Very basic question. Who am I? I am one person in St. Louis. How many people are in St. Louis? And then you go on thinking this way in a broader spectrum and go on, and then you go for whole America, how many people, and I am one of them. Go for South, North Americas both included, how many, I am one. Go to other countries, Southeast, East, West, wherever you go, everywhere include in the whole world. And in that whole world, who am I? I am one. So out of the billions and billions of people, I am one. And then in the whole earth, I am this tiny. What about that? About the solar system in which we live? About in comparison to sun? What is the position of earth? If we go on just thinking about this, a little looking up, then we find really we have either to say that we have some position or we have to say we are nothing. We have to take either of the two positions. Either we are nothing or we are everything. So if we go, look at this, our galaxy. In that comparison, our galaxy and our position of Earth, what is this? There is one great astronomer in our Hollywood, he comes, you know his name, John Dobson. Probably you have heard his name. He gives very graphic descriptions of the situations of this cosmos. He says simply that the number of stars as we see in the sky, as known, as much as it is known, how he calculated that way I do not know. He said that if 8 acres of land with 3 feet height, if it is filled with all sand, you can imagine how much may be the number of sands. That much is the known stars in the whole cosmos. 8 acres of land, 3 feet height, sand, filled with sand, and each grain is one star. And that many number of stars are there. Now come back to our condition, if that is true, or even if it is not true, whatever is truth. But either what is our condition then? Who are we? I think this will be done. and it is not done. I was walking and someone looked at me with a frowning face. Huh? Why? I was smiling and he did not smile at me. Huh? What a serious thing. It is all, every point is serious for me. But who am I? Who cares about me? Either you say, in the whole creation, what importance is there of my smile, of my joy, of my suffering? Yes, I have created my world. It's a huge world and I am the only person there. So my joy, my happiness, my suffering is important, though important. But is it so important in the perspective of this holistic approach of life? Then should we not grieve? Should we not fight? Yes, we should. But how much? To kill ourselves up to that point? To solve the problem? Yes, there are problems in life. But how far to go? If that is the question, should we be so much stressed out to go to a psychiatrist, to take some medicines, and whole life live on that? Or come to some global noble idea to think about some other aspect of our life regarding our present existence, regarding our eternal existence, if there is any. And that can reduce our stress and strain our problems. Whenever this problem becomes so much important, problem is not important. Important is that I give importance to that problem. Swami Vivekananda says, this world is dead. It is a corpse. You pay attention to it and make it alive, and it becomes a ghost. And you are frightened from the ghost and you cry and weep and try to run away. Suppose if you say that this is unimportant to me, immediately it loses its strength. That which was very much important, that which was really creating so much difficulties and turmoil, it loses its ground, as it were. So in the ancient age, as you know, this education was given in two ways. Secular education is needed because science and technology should develop. But one-sided development of science and technology without the development of the mind and intellect and spirituality is a dangerous development which destroys the peace and joy of life. So our ancient sages were very practical in that sense. They suggested that two types of knowledge we have to acquire. Dve vidye veditabbe parachaiva aparacha. You have heard it several times. That two types of knowledge is to be acquired. One is the secular knowledge by which we can earn our livelihood, live comfortably. Suppose it is snowing. If science and technology was not there, we will be in caves then, frozen with the snowfall. It would have been very difficult. We could not move anywhere. We could not do anything. So development of science is needed. Art, literature, culture, everything is to be developed. But at the same time, apara and paravidya, that supreme knowledge, that science of self, science of the spirituality should also be developed. And knowing it said that what is para and apara, the Upanishad described Jadrig Veda, Jajurveda, Shama Veda, like that. All these knowing of the scriptures, even knowing of the scriptures is also within secular knowledge. The sages have defined that way. Knowing the self is only the absolute knowledge or knowledge of the supreme knowledge, by knowing which everything is known, by which one feels the unity with the infinite, with the divinity, with the absolutism. That is called the para or supreme. And that, accepting that, even this knowledge of the scriptures, science, art, your astronomy, chemistry, physics, whatever is brought into the picture, these are all secular knowledge. It can earn, that's why Ramakrishna's simple formula. This can give us bread and butter to live, but it cannot give liberation. So, simultaneous development in the mental aspect, to make the mind finer and finer and finer, to look beyond the apparent limited entity of ours, as we feel for ourselves, we are this limited. And because I am limited, every problem becomes very serious. Anything happens, my little mind gets affected. But had we developed a capability to expand this mind into a vaster horizon, then this little problem will not touch there. That is the example we find in the lives of the great saints and sages of all religions all over the world, knowing which everything will happen. Not that there will be no misery, there will be no disease, there will be no hunger, there will be no threat, there will be no war. But it will not affect, because we are grounded into our association with something which is vaster, nobler, which is beyond this limitation. We are frightened. Why? We get strained. Why? Because we think we are going to lose. The very fundamental question, what am I to lose? Oh, I will lose. I'll lose my what? Body? You are losing your body every second. Are you not? Our body is the same body. Within 10 minutes, it has changed. It is not the same old body anymore. It has become 10 minutes older. we started with our birth, and every second is passing away unconsciously. We are becoming older, but we think we are the same. No, we are not the same. So we are dying. Dying means what? We are dying in one aspect and reborn in another aspect. So my youth is gone. My old age is here already. And then it is curve starts like that. It goes like up, goes, youth, and then decline. Comes. Nobody can stop it. You be a saint, you be a sage, you be a serial killer, you be a heinous sinner. It matters little. It starts this way, it goes up and curves down. And at certain point it will be stopped. This body will stop. So what is the cause of our grief? What is the cause of our so much anxiety? If we decide we'll die one day, not that I am going just to embrace death, that is not the point, but it is a natural thing, it will happen. And this body will go by what means? Either by disease. What type of disease? It may be heart, it may be kidney, it may be something in the body, something will not function anymore. And that will cause the whole system to stop. But it is going to happen. It will be the result of it. If we are convinced of this truth, we don't want to face it. It is a challenge. Oh, don't talk of death. The Indians were very good at that, training people to face death, to see death. Suppose in this country, if someone is dead, what we do? Immediately we call the mortuary people and they bring it within few minutes, putting some flowers or something. Just the body is taken and it is put in a box, not to see the face at least once before cremation. But Indian people are not that. They teach you, let the body be there and watch how the body gets transformation. This body is received from the 5 elements. Is it not? Water, we drink water, that's why we are alive. We eat food which is coming from the earth element, the grains of food or banana, fruits, whatever you eat, it is the earth. Then heat, that transforms into calorie. The body is having heat, otherwise death means body heat is lost. And air, of course air, breathing is going on. If it stops, we say, oh, that breathing is stopped. So the 5 elements we have taken loan from the whole creation. And it goes back at the point of death to the 5 elements each. But in India, it is a very serious thing. When the body goes, you will have to see how the body goes. They put in the cremation on the pyre, and some of the nearest relative will have to put the fire. If father dies, this elder son will have to do that. Difficult. Why? Not to be fearful. Be bold. This is the situation. If you think your body, this is the situation, it will happen. Watch it. How you have borrowed every day, drink, air, food, whatever you have taken from the world, you are giving back everything to the world. Nothing goes with you. And it is a must. So, knowing this, you be bold. Then you think about, then who am I then? Then what else I can lose? I lose my peace. Peace is where? Peace is in the eyes, or ear, or nose, or finger, or in the toe. Where? Where is peace? Peace is concerned in your mind. Now, that's why they have paid attention to the mind. How? You can create a mind of peace. Situation will be there, and the mind will be made unrestful, or mind will be agitated. But there is a process by which the mind can be kept in such a level that that mind will not be disturbed. Problems will happen, but it will not be disturbed, because you know something higher. Only to know something higher, that can give us our own stability. So far we depend on unstable objects in the world. Unstable is this, body is unstable. You do not know. This moment I am here, I do not know. There is no guarantee I shall be here tomorrow this time, in this world at all. Who gives the guarantee? So we need not have to depend on this unstable ground. Let us stand on a very stable ground. What is the stable ground? Mind, as we know, mind is very unstable. Every day, how many times our emotional upsurge of emotion and downfall of emotion goes, and it crashes the car, as it were. Goes sweep this and sweep up. Sometimes it is too much distraction and disturbance. No? So we cannot trust that mind which is all the time moving in one direction, and mind also has got its good side and bad side. Mind, if it accepts something, it does not want to release it, to hold on. That is our problem of suffering. We suffer because we, as the modern time we say, let go. We don't want to think that way. We don't want to let go. Something has happened with you, maybe today, some hot discussion or something. Ordinary mind keeps it. Not today. And you sit for meditation, then it becomes stronger. Because when you think, oh, I have said this, and you replied that way, I should have replied that way. So meditation is going on this questioning how we can fight more. Because my mind is holding to that, and then my mind, what I have forgotten to reply that time, it didn't occur to my mind. So all these reasonings come, and next day we start fighting again. So, and not only that, we have seen people who keep this for years together. Even people keep them in their mind in such a way to take the revenge after 20 years, if there is a chance. Okay, I didn't get it, I don't forget it. So here is the point. So, why to hold on to that? There is greater things to hold on. This is nothing wrong if you find peace, go on with that. But who has found peace in that type of holding on to things? I think nobody. But still, it is our human weakness that we want to hold on. That is called attachment. And this is a thing which creates our suffering. So we should learn how to let go. Let go. It has happened. So many things happen. So it has happened. Something next will happen again. So not to hold on to anything which is limited, which is changeable, which is under the context of time, space, and causation. This is the analysis. If I hold on to that, it is limited. And limited thing cannot give me peace. This is the formula. If we make this formula clear in our mind, we want peace. What type of peace? Abiding peace? Abiding joy? Then we cannot find it in limited, minor, limited, any object which is within the boundary of time and space and causation. Then we have to find something which is greater and higher. Jaya tadaksharam abhigamyate, by which, holding to which, that akshara, that which is undecaying, which is unchanging, can be identified with. I have identified with this body, Swami Turiyananda used to say, saying from our childhood, I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. I have become body. So anything happens to the body, I am affected. Swami Turiyananda said that, tell yourself that you are Atman, you are pure, you are divine. This is nothing. This is the only reflection of your divine self. So go back to that eternal abode and identify there. I am that, I am that, I am that, I am that. And then you will be that. So that is the source of peace. Peace, happiness, joy comes there. So to relax means whenever situation happens, not to go along with that circumstances, not to follow the situation immediately with it, and all our intellectual understanding, emotion directed towards the same thing, day and night thinking of that situation will really create much more horror in our mind, and stress and strain and suffering and agony and pain will take possession of us. But nature, to let go, as I was talking about, that is the relaxation. How to relax? That is a mood to be created. I want to relax. There is a problem. It does not mean that we will not try to solve the problem which we are facing. Relaxation, the power is within. We have to understand. We are not weak people. We have the tremendous power within ourselves to relax. The story of the king Janaka, you know that story. That Janaka was in a court and he was a great saint, realized soul. At the same time, he was the king. It is called Raja Rishi. Raja means king and Rishi means sage. At the same time, he was a realized soul. At the same time, he was ruling the kingdom, so he was king. So he was having some discussion, and he used to call different sages in his court to discuss spiritual issues and this Atman, Brahman, these realities. So he was just in that mood of discussion, and there are many monks and saints and sages around. And by that time, somebody came and said, "O king, there is a heavy fire in the Capitol building." So what to do? So He just heard it and he didn't pay any attention. He was going on with the discussion. Then again he said, and third time he said, it is burning, it may affect you here. Then Janaka said, Mithilayang pradagdhayam name daihati kinchana. If the whole Mithila, the whole capital, gets burnt into ashes, it does not affect me. He knew, he didn't think that he is the body. His identity is in some place which fire cannot burn. The spontaneous reply came from his mind. That is the point. And he instructed, do whatever you can do. This is a practical thing. Do whatever you can do. But even the fire comes, even the war comes, even something happens, I am not going to be killed. I have another entity. So you can relax there. The other people, there is a funny story. It is also very important. What is called spiritual life. It is not that you should not have any possession. You should not have house, building, car, money, ornaments. No, you should have. The king had, King Janaka had it, the whole kingdom. But how to relax? How to be detached? How to be peaceful? If something happens, you take means to cure that problem or face that challenge, but afterwards you try to relax. That's why not the material object creates any bondage, but what is the problem? Our holding on to it. Attachment, that creates the problem. Attachment to the body, attachment to me and my people, attachment to my object, my name. You go in a different level. My understanding, my ego, I understand, I say. Wherever this attachment, there is the source of all types of bondage. There were in that congregation, there are many wandering monks also. They also came to attend to that discussion with the King Janaka. So they were sitting. These poor guys, wandering monks, they have nothing in their possession. What they have? They have maybe one robe in the upper body cloth, and maybe one lion cloth. So when they heard that the fire has caught here and there, so they ran to grab their lion cloth because it's valuable to them. How they will survive without that? So come to the point, understand the fun of life, that lion cloth is what value? And the king's kingdom is how precious. Janaka, being the king, the owner, he feels, I don't have to lose anything. I don't lose anything. Let the whole country be burned. It doesn't burn me. Standing on the high platform of that spiritual knowledge. And even those who are so-called monks, wandering monks, they feel, my cloth will get burned. So let me grab it first. So they went and tried to grab them and bring back. So it is the question. Attachment is the question, not the item, not the object, not the quantity. What value you put. A piece of cloth, lion cloth, a just piece of torn cloth, that was so valuable that they had to give up the discussion, spiritual discussion, and run to grab that. But the king, who have the entire kingdom getting burned, and he is detached. This is the process by which we can learn to be restful. How to be restful in life? Doing as best as we can do when we are confronted with a particular problem, particular situation. But we have to know that this will not destroy me. It cannot. It is only a phase. And one of our Swami, Premeshananda, you have heard his name probably many times. That Swami used to say, the clouds come and go. Today's sky is like this. It is not that it will be every day like this. Clouds come, but clouds go. But the sun never comes, never goes. The eternal sun, which is the source of all energy, even creating the cloud. Who creates the cloud? It is the sun who creates the cloud. Its heat brings the water in a vapor form, and then clouds gather and it hides the sun himself. It is the power of the Lord which creates this delusion of this diversity and hides the truth within us. And that hiding or that clouded mood creates depression, suffering, pain, agony. All these come, but these are not permanent. These come and go. If we believe this truth, and it happened in our life, no? How many times odd situations came and we are totally devastated. But that is gone. Today it is a good day, okay, that's good. But whether it will remain tomorrow, it is not known. So these are changing situations. But the sun is unchanging. So to hold on to the sun, to hold on to the ground of our very reality, very existence, that is the path for relaxation. Every day, in the morning, if we sit quietly and think that this whole universe is a cosmic reality, there must be some designer. This house is there, there must be some architect. Without the architect, this house cannot come. So this beautiful universe with infinite number of stars and galaxies and whatever we see, there must be somebody behind it. Creation without creator is impossible. Even in logic it cannot stand. At least if you say he is a man, I don't say he is a man or woman, but it is a power. It must be accepted as a very reasonable person to think that there must be some organizer, some creator, some designer, some architect. And we are all playing under his plan, master plan. So in our life, things come, it will go. It has come, it will go in his plan. So even a devotee stand, if we take the devotee stand, Gita suggested that devotee stand in different chapters. It says that that Ishvara, in the 18th chapter, it says, Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridyase arjuna tishtati bhamayan sarvabhutani jantraruhani mayaya. By his cosmic maya, he, the Lord of the universe, Ishvara, he resides in everyone's heart. And he is making everyone move like a puppet, as the puppeteer does with the strings, like it is his finger pull, and the puppet nods his head, hand, does everything. So these are the puppets we are sitting, but he is the indweller. If we believe that, the Lord as indweller sits in my heart, and he is making me do this situation, come into this situation, and it is great will is going on. So he will take care of it. Bow down to that power, that cosmic power, if you call God. Or if you say it is not, you don't believe that in a Vedantic way, you will have to think that this whole creation, who am I? I cannot be body. I cannot be my limited mind. I cannot be this much of my intellect as I understand. My understanding is too little. Even this intellect itself is too little an instrument to fathom my infinite depth. So go back in the Vedantic way. It can say, then who am I? That may be the one way to relax. Any situation come, we can think this is a changing phase. It will change tomorrow. Why am I so upset? Look back into our life. How many times in our life we have confronted such terrible situations? Are they still staying here with us? It has gone. It is like the wave, comes and goes. So let me be relaxed. Let me be peaceful and absorb the situation. And with this type of prayer, when it is done, we look at this. Suppose now war is coming. In the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, when the war between justice and unjust, Arjuna and Duryodhana went on, then Arjuna said, no, I won't fight. That was a different type of war. It is a different type of war where we are confronting. But that type of war, what he said, Krishna says, Aham kalosmi. I am kala, I am time. Lokakshayakrit praviddha. I have engaged myself in destructing the loka, the human being. So many people, evil people, have covered the whole world. So I want to make an end of them. So, and if you do, lokan samahartum iha pravittu. I am now engaged in this type of destruction. God, that's why in Hinduism there are three aspects of God. One is for nourishment, it's called Vishnu, the nourisher, Brahma, the creator, and also equally one loving God who is called Shiva. He dances with his trident and destroys. Destruction is not destruction, it is a rebirth. Gives an opportunity to be reborn. So if that goes on, and one thinks that this world is going on in the cosmic plan. So, what am I to do here? How can I keep my peace? That is more important. How can I keep my joy intact? That is my life. That is called spirituality. And how to reach that? Devotion will say, take refuge unto me. Jara maranamakshayo mama srityo yatanti ye te brahmo tad vidu krishnam madhyatmam karma chakilam. He says that jara maranamakshayo, there is old age, there is marana, death. To get rid of these problems and other sufferings, mam asrityo yatanti ye, those who worship me, rely on me, trust on me, that I am his restful space, and offer himself unto me, then te brahma tad vidu. They are the knowers of Brahman. They can keep their peace. And he knows how to Krishna madhyatmam karma chakilam. They only know how to work in this life. We work, our work kills us. But if we take this art of working, this is the art of working. How we work our responsibilities to face all the challenges which are every day having, but at the same time to surrender. After our attempt to cure it, at the end let us say, O Lord, let thy will be done. And if we can say that, immediately my load is gone. When I carry it, I will have to solve the problem. Problem comes, the whole problem is on my head. But if I do my best and say, oh Lord, you have given me the mind, you have given me the intellect, you have given me the power, as much as you have given, I have exhausted it. And now it is up to you, O Lord, please take care. Then, immediately this thought even, it is a practical suggestion. You all know, still I am saying, that if you just think this way, that moment you feel that your load of the head is gone. Because you are trusting on somebody who can deal the cosmic problems. What is your problem? Your problem is nothing. That's why we say, whenever you are in problem, call on mother and say, mother, it is your problem. You solve it. I have done this far. I cannot solve it perfectly. It is you to take care of it. And really, when we can just offer this responsibility on hearts, then you have no responsibility. It is a psychological thing, even to be relaxed. Even it may not give the glimpses of realization that moment, but at least relaxation it can bring. And ultimately, practicing this, then our faith comes in God, and ultimately we can see some glimpses of light, because, oh, I trusted, mother did it so well, Had I tried, it would not be so good. But now I find I trusted on the Lord, and see, Lord has done the right thing. Sometimes he may not do also. Sometimes he may do otherwise. We wanted that it should happen like this, but it is not his will. So something wrong came, then we may be angry. That's true. But anger also comes because we believe that he is my mother and she is my mother and she is not helping me. But next again something happens good, then we get full trust back. So this leads us into our spiritual journey day by day, and when our full surrender comes, then we become totally free. So the point is that world is full of problem. Life has its problem: physical problem, mental problem, intellectual problem, egotistic problem. In every level of our existence we have problems, but we are tormented by those problems, true, but we have the potential power to overcome these problems and relax and enjoy. That power is also God has given within us. But how to apply it? Two ways I have mentioned. One is to think that whole universe is so vast. Who has created this? I am nothing. I am not even a dot in the infinite creation of the stars as you have calculated. Or you say, I am everything. I pervade here. I am in the sun. I am in the stars. I am in the moon. I am in every creation. Who is my enemy? What one person can do? So many people love me. Let someone hate me. One Swami told us. He was very bold. He said that, in this world, somebody is criticizing. He said, what's that? Let him or her criticize more. Because so many people love me on one side, and let some people criticize. This is a balance. Can you take it in that sense? Then you can relax. So this is one way. Another way is that this is the cosmic reality, guided by a cosmic designer whom we call God, Lord, our Father, our Mother, whatever aspect we choose to call him or her, and then think it is her play going on. As a devotee, we are only his children. And whenever I am trouble, as the baby goes to mom, this is my problem. Is it not? Mom will then say, okay, do this, do that, or something. Or if the baby cries too much, mother takes care of the situation. So this is the devotional approach in which we can cry and pray to mother and give our responsibility there, and we get released. These are the two ways. And if we feel that we cannot do that, then let us suffer. Let us be stronger to learn out of our experience that we cannot solve the problems. And if we are tensed, tension lives with us, and that ultimately destroys our peace and happiness. So these are the two ways, and to take this world as it is, try to solve, but if with our limited capability, we will have to say at one point, beyond is not mine. So Lord, let thy will be done. Accept it. Sometimes difficult to accept. Suppose I have some cancer, and if I am to suffer. People, those who accepted, you see their smiling face. There is one lady devotee in our Hollywood. She is having so many operations after operations after operations. And whenever I see her, she smiles. I went to see her in the hospital, and she says, oh, I am so happy. I mean, you're happy? She's having a serious operation. And she was in coma for 3-4 days. And she came back to her awareness and she said, I am so happy. I said, you are happy? Yes. Because I know these are nothing. These are my not nothing. It is happening to the body. See, that is the point. How in that point she is relaxing because she is thinking, it is happening. What can I do? If cancer is in my body, doctor will take care of that. What am I to do there? And due to that, if there is some pain, I will have to endure. What can I do? Just to accept situation is a great training of our life, and spirituality helps us to grow in that way. Okay, we pray to God so that God gives us some power more. God power is already there. Now we think we have no power, but that power, we can pray for that power and invoke that power in us so that we can face the challenges of life and keep our smiling face all the time. Thank you.
I'll close with a prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityo Ma Amritam Gamaya Abhir Ma Eti Rudrayate Dakshinamukam Te Namam Ahinityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through. And may thy benign face shine upon us. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.